So my friends, good morning, All Saints. It is a good morning, although it is a bit, maybe, underwhelming, right? I mean, last Sunday, it was Rose Sunday. Tonight, Christmas lessons and carols. And this Tuesday, it's Christmas Eve. We're here. And so it's not crazy to see how the fourth Sunday of Advent can get overlooked. But not by each and every one of you. And so let me just say, I'm so proud. Well done. And I have for you a very special extra Christmas gift. And it's not just the extra coffee and donuts at coffee hour, but it is the gift of what this day is really all about. Because today is about the ones that are often overlooked, the ones who are forgotten each Christmas in favor of Santa and parties and pageants, and in particular, even Jesus himself. Today is for the parents, and especially Jesus' parent, as we hear of the story in our gospel today of his mother, the Blessed Virgin Mary. Now I know, whenever we talk Mary, maybe even mention a rosary or say words like Our Lady of Walsingham, there's a feeling that it's getting a little Roman Catholic in here. But that's a real shame, because there are few things like that of Mary, the Mother of God, that can lead us into a deeper relationship and reveal Jesus like a closer look and time with her. You may be surprised to hear that I pray the rosary regularly. One of the most impactful moments of Callan and I's honeymoon was when we pilgrimaged to Montserrat, a Marian pilgrimage site, to be blessed in front of La Moreneta. Episcopal churches all throughout the country have within them what's often known as a lady chapel, not too dissimilar from our memorial chapel, which features stained glass windows of Mary, Elizabeth, and their mother, Anne. In some ways, Advent has been slowly starting to point more and more to this holy family. Many Episcopal churches have moved from the purple in the season of Advent, like we do in Lent, to blue. Because who often wears blue? Mary. And a reminder that as we wait for this dawn of a new day, the season allows us to sit and dwell with that holy family. Mary, in particular, offers us a look at who we are as Christ's followers, who she is as the God-bearer, and perhaps, dare I say, the greatest revolutionary to have ever lived. In our gospel today, we join with that family where we meet Mary and Elizabeth, her sister, who bring together Jesus and John the Baptist. Even in the womb, there is an acknowledgement of the presence of Christ, even in this advent of his birth. Christ is seen and felt by the one who carries him and those who come near. Just after these verses, we'll hear an incredible song called the Magnificat. We are often very familiar with the Magnificat thanks to the beautiful renditions by our choir. Perhaps you've heard it as part of your Christmas season songs. And yet, even in this short gospel account, we begin to see the many faces of this incredible woman. The first is the most familiar one. It's the one we see in the stained glass, at the pageants, and likely in your mind already, that unwed, teenage, pregnant mother. So often this Mary is depicted as just joining in to what the plan that God has set in motion brings. This is the Mary from that awful song, Mary, Did You Know? I said it. It is the monster mash of Christmas songs. Nice tune, terrible theology. Anyway, while this Mary is one who is a servant of the Lord, she's one who struggles to comprehend how this could happen, to doubt. And yet she is also the one who says yes to God and says yes to something that means she should be ostracized, and in her day, even killed. And in doing so, she doesn't just say, "Sing, Mary, did you know?" She sings the Magnificat. And she says very clearly, she knows what she is saying yes to. This is the second face of Mary, that revolutionary. In this yes, she proclaims what we would find in the words following our gospel just after this lesson. Verses 51, he has shown the strength with his arm. He has scattered the proud in the thoughts of their hearts. He has brought down the mighty from their thrones and lifted up the lowly. He has filled the hungry with good things, and the rich he has sent away empty. These words and this song is where we begin with Mary and Jesus. This is what Mary proclaims behind that yes of hers. A revolution transforming the world. And we know that Jesus is Mary's child. And Jesus' rebellious, revolutionary ways seem to pour forth from him like someone who heard that song sang as a lullaby above his crib each night. You may be thinking, look, I've heard that song plenty of times, and it's a nice tune, but revolutionary anthem, I'm not so sure. But those in power and those doing the oppression often thought so. The Magnificat, this song, was banned in British-ruled India. It was banned by the government of Argentina. And as recently as the 1980s, was banned in Guatemala because of what it stirred within those who heard it. Just as I am sure it stirred within Jesus. It's Mary who will push Jesus to begin his ministry at a wedding in Cana. It's Mary who is prophesied to have her heart pierced for the life of this Christ child, and yet even still, she remains at the foot of that cross on Good Friday, the mark of Mary on Jesus, and thereby the mark of Mary on us, the one for justice, for transformation, can't be mistaken, and it is one that we must bear as well. And so while she is revolutionary, she is also the bearer of God, what the Eastern Church called the Theotokos. In her very nature, she carried Christ within her. By her very being, Christ was present through her for all to meet. Elizabeth could feel the grace emanating from a pregnant Mary, and the same Spirit of God that flowed through her flows through us. It's been said that all Christians are meant to be mothers of God because Christ is always needing to be born. In places where there are great hurt, God needs to be born. In places where sorrow reigns, God must be born. In our homes, in our works, for our friends, our cities, and for this world, God must be born. And we are called to be the ones who bear him, even with our bodies. In a moment, you too shall hold Christ within you as we receive the gift of his body and blood from this table in the Eucharist. We are charged to be as visible with Christ within us as a mother who is carrying her child. We are to let that light shine through us, that grace pour out from us, that Spirit of God, that force that transforms the world, tear down entities that despise it, and even defeats death itself. That is what we hold within us, my friends. What you can bring into the world, what we must bear in this world. My friends, I know it is easy to look ahead to the child in the manger, to Santa, to presents, to all the holiday business. But I hope that even if it is just for today, perhaps even the first time today, you will sit with the Blessed Virgin Mary. Mary does not belong to any one kind of church, for through her we are able to know Christ all the more. We know who we are called to be, and how we might live it, so maybe even give the rosary a try. Follow her example so that we would take our place in the yes of God's revolution, that we too would bear Christ within our hearts and our bodies, and that in doing so we would meet the Christ child born anew amongst us, and we leading God's revolution. Amen.